Thanks for tuning in to ARIRANG News. I'm Devin Whiting in Seoul. Parliament's annual audit of government agencies is back on track after the ruling Saenuri Party ended a week-long boycott. Though they've returned to work, the dispute over the Assembly Speaker's role is yet to be resolved. Ji Myung-gil has our top story.
The parliamentary audit that started last week finally got back to normal on Tuesday, when the 11 parliamentary committees overseeing the audit got the session started again. Even so, the parties are still at odds over a proposed law revision sparked by the ruling Saenuri Party's accusation that Assembly Speaker Chung Se-kyun abandoned his political neutrality to help the opposition.
The People's Party is considering revising the parliamentary law so the Speaker's political neutrality is guaranteed. The Minju Party should also participate.
The main opposition Minju Party of Korea objects to the proposal and is calling on the ruling party to refrain from sabotaging the rest of the audit. Another contentious topic concerns the corruption allegations against the country's biggest business lobby. The Federation of Korean Industries has been accused of using its influence to pressure companies into giving to two foundations that raised a staggering $65 million in a relatively short period of time.
Our party has heard that the Federation of Korean Industries is destroying evidence showing that it raised money for the Biru and K-Sports foundations through conglomerates.
The rival parties are also at odds over whether an autopsy should be performed on a farmer who died late last month after 10 months in a coma. His family objects to an autopsy, saying the results will be used to prove that the police water cannon that knocked him down during a protest last November was not the cause of his death. Ji Myung-gil, ARIRANG News.
And as the parliamentary audit got rolling again, Korea's central bank came under the microscope. BOK Governor Lee Ju-yeol touched on a number of economic issues, including consumer prices for this year, which are expected to rise a little less than previously forecast. Shin Se-min has more on the BOK governor's remarks.
Bank of Korea Governor Lee Ju-yeol said consumer prices are expected to rise 1% this year, a little lower than the central bank's previous forecast of 1.1%. Speaking at the BOK Tuesday during Parliament's audit of the bank, Governor Lee said the new estimate takes into account the ongoing slump in oil prices and the temporary discount on electricity bills offered to households this past summer. On the country's economic growth front, where the central bank has admitted the effect of monetary policy is limited, Lee said both monetary and fiscal policy should be used together to help growth regain momentum. Korea's central bank kept its base rate at a record low of 1.25% last month. Governor Lee noted it's highly likely that the U.S. Federal Reserve will raise its base rate by year's end, probably in December, but also said the rate hike will not immediately lead to higher interest rates in Korea. Lee added the central bank will monitor markets and economic conditions before adjusting the country's monetary policy. The central bank will announce its base rate for October and its revised figures for next year's economic growth and consumer inflation on the 13th this month. Shin Se-min, ARIRANG News.
North Korea says relations between the two Koreas have reached an irreversible low point. The statement came on the anniversary Tuesday of an historic declaration signed 9 years ago by the leaders of the two Koreas. Connie Kim reports.
North Korea says inter-Korean relations have reached a catastrophic stage that cannot be reversed. The statement appeared in an editorial published Tuesday that ran on the front page of the North's official Rodong Sinmun newspaper. It said relations between the two Koreas have become irreversible due to the impulsive actions of South Korean President Park Geun-hye. The paper also said the conditions on the Korean peninsula have escalated to a point where war could break out at any time, and said that as long as the U.S. threatens to invade the North, the regime will strengthen its nuclear deterrence. The statement falls on the 9th anniversary of the South-North October 4th declaration. The declaration was signed after a 3-day meeting between South Korean President Roh Moo-hyun and North Korean leader Kim Jong-il and called for international talks to replace the armistice agreement that ended the hostilities in the Korean War with a peace treaty. Following North Korea's 4th nuclear test in January and its 5th test last month, inter-Korean relations have turned ever icier. The North also claims to have a standardized nuclear warhead and threatened to produce a variety of smaller, lighter, and more diverse warheads with stronger striking power. That's why officials in South Korea and North Korea watchers believe the regime could conduct another long-range ballistic missile launch, or possibly another nuclear test to mark the anniversary next Monday of the founding of its ruling Workers' Party. Pyongyang has record of carrying out provocations on or around an important anniversary date. The nuclear test in January was conducted 2 days before Kim Jong-un's birthday, and the second nuclear test this year coincided with the founding of the regime. With the North unwilling to scale back its nuclear and missile ambitions, and President Park's hardline stance on the North unlikely to change, it seems that inter-Korean relations will remain at a standstill for quite some time. Connie Kim, ARIRANG News.
In other news, the 2016 Nobel Prize in Physics has been awarded to 3 scientists for their discoveries in quantum physics. 3 British physicists, David Thouless, Duncan Haldane, and Michael Kosterlitz, will share the prize worth about $960,000 for their work on exotic states of matter. Their research, which began in the 1970s and studied rare states of matter like superconductors and superfluids, could lead to revolutionary materials and technologies. The Nobel Committee said this year's laureates had opened the door on an unknown world. The 3 will receive their medals at a ceremony in Stockholm in December. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. More to come on News Center in 2 hours' time. Bye for now.